The Wild West and classic cars come together in one of America's historic boomtowns. Now let's take a road trip back in time to South Dakota, where KOOL Deadwood Nites rocks the summer.
When Deadwood was founded in the gold rush of the late 1870s, it was a lawless community.
Lee Harstead, director of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau of Deadwood, South Dakota, says just to walk down historic Main Street in his town in the footsteps of Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and other notables of Western fame takes you back and really gets your imagination rolling. But you'll also be rocking this summer because our time machine doesn't just stick to Western lore. While horses were seen on Main Street way back then, now horsepower fills the streets.
KOOL Deadwood Nites, it's a major car show, and we'll bring in the finest classic cars around, and then we also have 4 days of entertainment on Main Street. So basically the Wild West town of Deadwood transforms into a car lover's paradise.
It starts Thursday, August 23rd, and the music is just as vintage as the cars, making your trip in time that much more memorable. Just like you remember every detail of your first car, members of bands you likely know well playing in Deadwood this year all have fond memories of their first classic rides. Mark Dawson of the Grassroots remembers what he calls his Black Beauty.
I was driving around a 1965 Mustang at that time. 307 was the engine in there, 3-speed on the floor. It was black with red interior. I just loved that car.
Mark Volman of the Turtles still to this day drives his original classic.
I still have one of my cars from 1957. So I have a 57 Chevy. It was part of the triad that they had in the 57 model, and still drive it.
Ron Dante of the Turtles and the Archies likes that year too.
My first car was a 57 Chevy convertible with skirts. It was the hottest car on the block, and I was so happy to have it. All my girlfriends loved it too. It was a kind of light green and white.
The Box Top's Gary Talley swears he never got a ticket in his.
A 68 GTO. It was green with a black vinyl top, and it was the kind that had that plastic bumper on the front. You know, there was no metal on the front of it, and it looked really streamlined, and it went really fast.
Bill Cunningham, also of the Box Tops, finds poetry in motion.
The lines of those cars during the 50s and 60s were just amazing. My first car was a Plymouth Barracuda, yellow with a black top.
And Tony Butala with the Lettermen went for luxury.
And when I started having hit records, I bought a 1962 Oldsmobile Super 88.
Put your head on my shoulder.
In gear with classic cars and classic rock.
Deadwood is jamming that weekend, no doubt about it.
I'm Art Sanders. And be sure to catch the Turtles, Mark Volman and Ron Dante and all their friends this summer on the Happy Together Tour.